If you want to improve your social skills, then it's going to be a lot about energy management as well. Because you can't improve yourself like in any area of life if you don't have your health under control, if you don't have your energy under control. So what I found is, in the past I've been talking to a lot of like new people, strangers, and I find that what I always did in the past was, even when I felt like really bad, I always tried to approach regardless. And I did that in order to develop kind of like a good mindset in myself. Just because I feel bad doesn't mean that I shouldn't take action, right? So this was the mindset, and I think there can be some really good things to that. But the other side of it you need to consider is that when you are training yourself to talk to people while you're feeling bad, it's difficult to transmit like a good energy, right? It's difficult to transmit a good vibe. And the reality is, if you can't do that, if you can't transmit a good vibe, then the interaction isn't going to go well, right? This doesn't mean you need to be super high energy. This doesn't mean necessarily you need to even be, enthusiastic, or like, you don't need to be playful or things like that, but you still need to have like a good energy regardless. And so if you just don't feel well, that's not going to work. Sometimes maybe you can try to trick some things, but most of the time it's better to work on your state first until you reach your baseline, right? This doesn't mean that you need to have, this doesn't mean that you need to be in state, right? That's not what I'm saying. Because that's the other problem, right? If you try to be in state before you talk to someone, that's going to be difficult because, that just doesn't happen that much. Oftentimes you just need to take action and then you get a little bit of a better feeling. But that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about getting up to like a normal baseline level where you feel normally healthy and normally energetic. So once you do that, then you can talk more to people. But the thing is, like, if you see this in like three parts, right? You have below baseline, then you have baseline, and you have above baseline. If you're below baseline and you try to talk to people, you're just gonna train yourself to, on the one hand, the good part is you're gonna train yourself to try and transmit good energy even though you're feeling bad. And you're gonna work on a good mindset, but you're not going to refine your skills as much as if you just work on having like a good energy first and then going out and interacting. Because if you do that, then you'll be a lot sharper. You'll notice a lot more about people. You'll notice their faces. You'll notice how you can play with the energy. Whereas if you're just tired and you feel bad, you're probably not gonna even care about that. You're just gonna be like, well, I need to do the reps, so I'm just gonna do that. But you're not refining your skills. This is really what I wanted to tell you in this video. This is like the idea that I wanted to bring to you, that I thought, well, it might be useful for you guys as well. So yeah, that's it. But also, like, for me, I think when I work on my social skills, it's actually funny because I'm not an extroverted person, but you just work on doing the things you want to do. You work on becoming the you that you want to be, right? And for me, even if when I'm walking at places like this, it's like a little bit weird, a little bit strange, I don't even really know exactly why I'm doing this, but it feels like a nice challenge in a way, and it's like interesting. So, you know, the annoying part is like I don't want to, let's just say it like this, like I want to have a good impact with my brand and with my videos. So it's always like a search of like, how can I do that? Because I feel like sometimes I'm being like intrusive with these videos. And that's part of the reason why I'm doing it, because that sounds really bad. But part of the reason why I'm doing this is because a lot of the time, if you want to achieve something in a social setting, you need to have a little bit of a going for it approach, right? You can't be passive. Even when you are being patient, that's still something, if you want it to be a good type of patience, it's still like an active type of patience. It's not like you're there dreaming about something else, right? Even if you were silent, it's still coming from a place of, ambition, or at least presence, at the very least. So, that's kind of my takeaway. So obviously, I'm making these videos about social skills, and this is a little bit where I want to take my video in like the long term. Sorry, where I want to take my brand in the long term. But also, a lot of these things are like an interplay with sales as well, right? Because sales isn't just about learning to close. It isn't just about learning to sell a price or sell a product. That's obviously an important part of it. But if you have the social skills, then obviously the sales is going to be a lot easier as well, right? So when you see me doing these things, you could probably do that as well with enough practice, because I have always been like super introverted. So if you just give it some practice, you can develop yourself in a good way and do things you didn't consider yourself possible at first. And this might take a long time though, because you don't always achieve results in like the first months. So yeah. But anyway, this video might be not super structured. I'm trying, but yeah. I hope at least I was able to share some good ideas, and I will see you guys next time. Check out my next video if you want. Have a good one. Bye-bye.